I'm craving some ice cream, but I don't have any. So today we're going to make some ice cream using science. We know that ice cream is made out of cream and sugar and has a flavour. And we know that it's frozen, but it's not rock hard like ice. It's more really like really cold whipped cream. We have our cream, we have our sugar, and we have our vanilla to flavour our ice cream. We can take these ingredients and now make our ice cream. And you can do this too at home. You just need those three main things: sugar, vanilla, and cream. If you didn't have cream, you can use half and half or milk. It all works the same. There's also a special ingredient as well, which we'll come to a bit later on. You'll also need some equipment. You'll need a small sealable bag and a large sealable bag, so the small bag can fit into the large bag. You'll also need some measuring cups, some measuring spoons, and an oven mitt. We're also going to need some ice and a grown-up to help us. The last thing you need, our special ingredient today, is salt.
First of all, take your ingredients and add them together into the small bag. I'm going to use my half teaspoon of vanilla, my tablespoon of sugar, and half a cup of milk or cream or half and half, and then seal that bag. You don't want any of those ingredients escaping, otherwise we'll lose some ice cream. Then, moving it to one side, I'm going to concentrate on my ice. I've got 4 cups of ice here, and I'm going to put them all into my big sealable bag. Moving them to one side, it's in time for our important ingredient. Our most important ingredient is salt. I'm going to take half a cup of salt and empty it onto my ice. It's important to add salt to the ice because that will make the ice cream freeze much faster, and here's why. If you've ever put worn out salt onto your driveway or sidewalk in the winter, you'd know that the salt melts the snow and the ice. That's because when there's lots of salt in water, it needs to be colder than plain water to freeze. Even if it's cold enough outside for the plain water to freeze in the snow, it's probably not cold enough for salty water to freeze. So when you add salt, salty snow melts. When you add salt to the bag of ice, the same thing happens. Think back to the experiment we did in the classroom where we used salt to speed up the ice melting to free our Lego figures. The ice is cold enough to freeze when it is just plain water, but it was not cold enough to freeze when there is lots of salt in it, so the ice cubes in the bag start to melt. That melting is really important for us making our ice cream really cold really fast, and that's because when the ice melts, it draws in heat around it, making everything around it much colder, including our ice cream. Now we've added the salt, we put the small bag inside the big bag of ice and salt and seal it up nice and tightly so there's no leaking. The ice is going to start to melt and make the cream or milk, sugar and vanilla in the smaller bag really cold really fast. While that's happening, we're going to make sure the ingredients in the bag become ice cream, and this is where we need an oven mitt or a towel because the bag is now really cold. So protect those hands and hold on to the bag and get shaking. You might need someone to help you. This takes 5 to 10 minutes.
Shake it, shake, shake it, 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 shake it like a Polaroid picture. Shake it, 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 shake it like a Polaroid picture.
There are tiny pieces of fat in the milk and cream, and when we shake the bag, they start to clump together. You can see here the mixture looks very different now. The mixture should become thick and creamy, just like ice cream should be. If our ice bag is as cold as it feels, it should take 5 to 10 minutes. But don't give up, just keep shaking if it doesn't look right. It might take a bit of time. Now it's time for testing. Have a spoon handy for a taste test. Yummy. Ice cream.
I've scooped my ice cream out of the bag and I've got it here in my nice little bowl with my spoon ready to enjoy. Yummy. Have fun making your ice cream.